Hello, Keith Rucker, VintageMachinery.org. Guys, got a little quick project. I hope it's going to be a quick project. Today, working over on the Monarch 16-inch lathe. Just one of the last little things I need to finish up to get this thing done. And down here is a handle. This handle engages the clutch and disengages the clutch on the spindle. So when you're operating it, you got a handle here on the carriage to do that. And it is just worn slap out. There's a little square bushing that goes down into the bottom of the handle here, and that square bushing is just worn completely out. So the goal for the day is we want to remove the handle off of here and get that little insert out, make a new square bushing to go in there, put this back together, and hopefully have a nice tight handle that's going to do what we want for it to do. So let me zoom in here, show you what we got, and we'll get started on this project. Here you can see the handle up a little bit closer, and again you see this little round area down here. That's the little bushing that goes in there, and it's just worn out from years and years of use, and we want to get it where it's nice and tight, get that play out of it. So a couple of bolts holding this whole piece on the bottom. I think what I need to do is take those off, slide this off the end of the lathe. Then we can take that insert out and get some measurements and make a new one. So let me get some wrenches and we'll start getting this thing taken apart. So there's a couple of 3/4 inch bolts up underneath the bottom down here of this little piece. So I'm going to get these out. Here's one. And there's the second one. And this whole little assembly now slides down, and we'll take the little piece off the end and hopefully just slide it right off. We got to take this little end piece off. This will allow us to just slide it right off the end, if I remember right. So let's go ahead and get these socket cap screws out. Okay. All right, now let's see if we can get this to come off the end. All right. And there's a little bushing on this end. It's got a tapered pin holding it in place. I have to get a punch and drive that out. Okay. That comes off the end. Put that pin back in there where I can keep up with it. And there we go. All right, let's get that bushing out. We'll get some measurements and make a new one. This little bushing that's in here, as you can see, it's not square anymore. It's more star-shaped almost. But there's a little set screw that's drilled in here that's holding it in place. And it looks like that there have been multiples of these in over the years, or at least they've moved them around because there's multiple holes drilled. This is a common way to key something, where you drill and tap a hole between two pieces and put a little set screw in there. And basically you're just creating a key to fit in there. So probably going to have to get a punch and drive that out from the back side now. go. All right, so this is the part we got to make. Let's get some measurements and see what we were dealing with. So we got a round piece of metal, inch 625 thousandths, so that's an inch and 5/8, and we're about a little over 750. So I'm just going to say 3/4 of an inch thick. It's about 25 thou over that, but that's what we need, and we're going to have to drill a hole in there, and then cut that square in it, and I think we're just going to broach that. I've got a 3/4 inch square broach, which is the size that we need. So let me see if I can dig up a piece of metal, and we'll go ahead and get a piece turned out over there on the lathe that we can broach. Well guys, I got a piece of mystery metal in here. It's got about 25 thou that we can take off of that diameter to get down to where we need to be. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we're just going to face off the front of this, get it down flush there. We'll turn this down to size. Like I said, it just needs a skimming, and drill the hole in there for the pilot for the broach to go into. So let's do it. All right, we'll come here and touch off on the front of this, and we're just going to eat away that whole front side of this piece. I'm just going to take a light pass now just to finish cleaning that up. All right. All right, we're just going to take a little light pass here. Get a good measurement so that we can figure out what we need to do. All right, so we're about 645. We need to go to 625, so I got another 20 thou to take off. I think I'm just going to do 10 just because I haven't got a good clean cut all the way around that yet. So yeah, that's going to clean the metal up there. I'll feel better with my measurement. And we need another 10 thou. Check what we got here. Yeah, we're right where we want to be, so that's good. 625. I'm going to grab that part and just make sure it slips up on there. Yeah, it's snug, but it fits. That's exactly what we want. From here, we need to drill a clearance hole in there for the broach to be able to go down through. So I'm going to start by just getting me a center started. Then we're going to drill us just a clearance hole here to get the hole started with. I think that's a 3/8. That part needs to be 3/4 of an inch thick, so I need to go in at least that far. And the broach I'm using says to use a 13/16 drill bit, so that's what we've got here. There we go. Just gonna chamfer that with a file. And I got a parting tool in here. It needs to be 3/4 of an inch thick. I'm just going to use a scale there, and we'll go ahead and part this off. Go ahead and hit this other side with the file. I'll just deburrs that side while we're in there. And continue cutting away here. Catch it with this. There we go. We've got a round hole in the part. We need to make it a square hole, and to do that, we're going to be using a square broach. So if you're not familiar with a broach, this particular type, it starts out with a round pilot hole that fits into that hole that we drilled. And as it goes through this, these little sections get progressively bigger and more square till you get up to the top and you got a perfect size square hole. And you basically just push this broach through using an arbor press such as this, or a hydraulic press, whatever you got to get the job done. And that's what we're about to do here. Now we want to use lots of lubrication on this, so I'm gonna put some good oil on here. We'll be oiling it up as we go down. This is actually the first time I will have used this Famco arbor press for real. So let's give it a try, see what happens. We'll just work our way down through here. So far, so good on the arbor press. Let's get some more oil on here. There we go. Gone from a round hole to a square hole. Let's go see how it fits. Come over here. Look at that. That fits wonderful. All right. So let's go put it back in the handle and get it in here and figure out where we need to drill our hole to key it. And I think we'll have this knocked out. So right now this handle is not fixed, so I can kind of adjust it up and down. But right now is in the upright position over here on the handle. It's tight, so it's holding its own. And that's where the lathe is engaged. So that's kind of the range I'm looking for right there. I don't know, maybe just a little bit higher. I like that. That's where we're going to put it. So let me slide it back off, and we'll take it over and drill and tap us a hole there. All right, I'm over here on the drill press now. We're going to drill and tap this for a 3/8 16 drill or set screw. So what I'm going to do is kind of get right in between those two pieces. Oh, and we're walking. That's not good. All right, let me readjust here, guys. I've come over and set this up in the milling machine. Hopefully I'm gonna be able to get a little bit better control over this. And fortunately I marked this thing with a Sharpie pen before I started so that I have exactly where I need to go. I'm gonna use a center drill to kind of start that hole right there in between. I think the problem is that we got cast iron on the outside and steel on the inside. You got two different hardnesses going on here. And that drill bit's just wanting to take the path of least resistance, which is through the cast iron. It moved on me again. All right, guys, I'm refusing to let this thing beat me, so I've gone to a little bit different setup. I've got it clamped now, basically, where this centerpiece is clamped onto that inner ring. Hopefully that's going to keep it from actually spinning in there. I thought it would have enough friction to just hold it in place, but evidently I was wrong. So let's see if we can get this. That's probably deep enough. I got it set up now with a tap follower. Got our tap in here, so hopefully we're lined up on the same line, and hopefully we're going to be able to get this thing started okay. All right, that's hitting the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and withdraw the tap, and we'll put a bottoming tap in there so we can get threads down to the bottom. Let's see if we can get this bottoming tap to go in there. Bottoming tap, taper tap you always want to start a hole with. The flutes are kind of tapered down in the bottom of it, and it just kind of keeps it where it needs to go. But if you're going to a blind hole such as this, you can use a bottoming tap which has threads cut all the way to the bottom, and now we've got full form threads all the way to the bottom of that hole. Good. All right, let me get the shop back out again. And now we should be able to put our set screw in there. In this case, it's going to be a key, and that will prevent, oh yeah, that's perfect. That'll prevent that center part from turning in there, and this is ready to go back together. Let's put it all back together now. Get our bolts back up on the bottom here. All right, I think we got that back on there. Oh yeah, just like it's supposed to work. I'm gonna put the end back on the end and we'll test her out. Okay, I think we got it. Try her out. Fire her up. Here's the handle. Look at there. That's awesome. This was pretty much unusable the way it was before, but that right there is going to make life much easier. Slides with the carriage just fine. I think we're ready to go, guys. There you go. That's going to be a wrap. We got our Clutch handle all fixed up now. Everything is as should be on this machine. At some point in time, I'm going to have to do the same job over on my big 28-inch Monarch because it's got the same problem. But we'll worry about that later on because we're not ready to get that lathe going yet. But this lathe, I think, is in good shape. So we've been using it for a couple of jobs now. I've been real happy with how this lathe is performing. Everything so far has been excellent, and that right there is going to make the job a lot easier because when we were using it on a job this weekend, really wasn't able to use that handle, was having to use the one up here close to the headstock, and it just was not very convenient, but this is going to solve that problem. That'll be a wrap. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Leave some comments if you like. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching.